Welcome to CrashMagic. Today we're going to look at a card trick called Coincidence Extraordinary. We'll start with the performance of the trick, so I'll show you what it looks like, and then after that I'll show you a tutorial so you can easily learn how to do this trick. Okay, let me show you this trick. So I need a spectator for this trick, and we've got a total standard deck of cards here. If you could shuffle them as much as you want, you can shuffle them any way you want as well. Make sure you're totally happy that the cards are mixed. They are not in any pre-set up order. That's perfect. That was a really good shuffle. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to deal these cards into a number of piles. So I'm going to turn the top card over, and the top card is a king. Now a king is a 13, so if we've got 10 then jack is 11, queen is 12 and king is 13. So for each pile I'm going to deal up to 13, and you'll see what I mean. But because a king is 13, that's that pile complete. So let's turn that over and we'll put that pile there. Let's turn the next card over. That's a 9. So now we want to make this pile up to 13. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and there we have another pile of cards. Now we have a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's put this pile here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Turn the next card over and it's an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Next we've got a 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm going to do this all the way through the pack. We're nearly there now. Oh, there's an ace, so that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Only got a few cards left. Let's see if we can make another pile. King, that's 13, so that's another pile. Then we've got a 4, 5, 6. We haven't got enough cards to make another pile up to 13, so I'll just keep these cards here. Okay, so we've got, what have we got? 8 piles now. And of course you can imagine that you had total free will to shuffle the pack at the start, and depending on how they were shuffled depended on what cards were turned face up, how many cards are each pile, and even how many piles were dealt. We could have had more piles, less piles. Some piles have got a lot of cards in, some cards have only got 1 card in them. Okay, so next thing that I want you to do is I want you to discard a number of these piles and give the cards to me, such that you've just got 3 piles left, and you can keep any 3 piles you want. Again, you've totally free choice to take piles with lots of cards, not many cards. Okay, so let's say you're going to discard this pile, this pile, this one, and maybe this one. So I'll take those cards, and you're going to leave yourself with these 3 piles here. Totally free choice of which piles the spectator chooses, which one they keep, which one they discard. Okay, I'm just going to have a very quick skim through my cards, and I'm going to choose a card. I'm going to choose that card, and I'm going to place that card there. So this is your card, and if we also take the top card from each of the 3 piles that you chose, so we've now got 4 cards here. We can collect the cards up from your piles, and let's just put them to the side. Okay, let's have a look at the 4 cards that you have ended up with. So you've got a 9, 9, 10 and 15. So I've got 9 and 9 is 18, plus 10, 28, plus 5 is 33. Okay, so do you believe in coincidences? You have 33 here. Let's count these cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 and 33. Now that is a coincidence extraordinary. Well, I hope you enjoyed that performance of the card trick Coincidence Extraordinary. Now let's go through the tutorial. So, as I said at the start, this card trick is totally impromptu, normal set of cards. Spectator can absolutely freely shuffle and mix the cards as much as they like, which is always a great thing in a trick when you can allow the spectator to do that. So it's very much self-working, this trick. So as in the performance, you turn over the top card, and whatever the value of that card is, you then continue to deal cards on to that card to make a pile of cards such that you've got it equals 13. So we've got 2 here, so we continue counting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there is our first pile of cards, and we'll turn them face down and put them there. Turn over the next card. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then we've got a jack, which is 11, 12, 13. Next we've got a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And as you can see, depending on how the cards were shuffled, you've no idea what cards are going to come up and so what piles. And so absolutely you could end up with, I think at least I've ended up with something like 4 or 5 piles. You can end up with 8, 9, 10 piles. It really does depend on which cards are turned up. So we've got 10, 11, 12, 13 here. Then we've got Queen, which is 12, 13. Jack, which is 11, 12, 13. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, we're getting towards the bottom now. So now we turn the next one, we've got an 8, 9, 10, 11. So we haven't got enough cards here to count up to 13. So when you get to this point, you just keep those remaining cards. If it just so happens that when you deal all your cards to make up this pile of 13, all the cards have gone, then that's fine if you've got an exact number. But if not, and like I say, you haven't got enough cards to make the next pile add up to 13, then you keep the remaining cards yourself. So this is normally a good point in the trick to reiterate to your spectator that they shuffled the pack totally, and that you would know, right, neither of you had any idea what cards were going to get turned up, how many cards were going to be in each pile, or how many piles there were going to be. But that you now want them to discard piles such that they're left with 3 piles of their choice. So again, it's totally self-working. It makes no difference which piles they choose. So let's say they keep these 3 piles here and they give the rest of the piles to us. We just take all those cards and put that with these cards here that we've got left. Now at this point, the top card on each of their pile, if we add them up, we've got 11 plus 7 is 18, so we've got 20. That number plus 10 will always equal the number of cards we've got here. So they've got 20. So if we count these out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. See, we've always got 10 cards more than their top cards are going to add up to. But as I showed in the performance, the way I like to do this is I'll quickly look through the cards and I'll look for a 9. So if we've got a 9 here, there we go, there's a 9. I'll just quickly skim through the cards. I'm not counting the cards at all, and I don't want the spectator to think that I'm counting the cards, so I'll just quickly look through. As soon as I see a 9, I'll take it out and place it down on the table to give to the spectator. So of course that reduces the number of cards I've got in my hand by 1. So I've got 10 more cards than their value here, but now I've removed 1, so that's why I've removed the 9, not the 10. So I give them this card and ask them to take the top card from each of their piles. We can then discard all these cards here, we don't need them, and ask them to look at their cards. So they've got the 9 that I've just given them, plus their other top cards, and if we add these together we've got 18 plus 11 is 29. So as you know, I had 30 cards, I've removed 1, I have got 29 cards here. So I think it's a fabulous trick and it's a really good coincidence, extraordinary, absolutely. Yeah, that's the way I like to perform it. Let's assuming these cards were back on their pile, so they've still got their same cards, it is possible, but very unlikely, that you won't have a 9 in your hand. If not, you could use cards to the value 8 and remove 2 cards. So let me show you what I mean. So we could again quickly skim through our cards. We're not counting these cards in any way. I could maybe find a 6 and a 2. So when we removed 1 card, we just removed a 9. Because we're now going to remove 2 cards, because we're going to pretend we haven't got a 9, we need to make these cards add up to 8. So in this case, I could say to the spectator, I'm going to give you 2 cards here. Now let's look at your other cards from the top of your piles. So now if you add these cards together, they've got 11, 18, 20, 26, 28. Of course, we had 30 cards here at the start. We've just given them 2. So we've also got 28 cards here as well. Like I say, I think this is a really great trick, and now you know exactly how it works and how it's done. You can play around with it and obviously come up with your own versions of the trick. Well, that's the end of this trick. If you liked it, please like it and subscribe. If you've got any comments, leave them down below. Please take a look at my channel and all the other card tricks that I've got on there. Most of them have got full tutorials showing you how to perform the tricks. And see you soon.